In this talk, you will learn more about business models within circular economy. The talk is aimed at students at higher educations with no or only limited knowledge about the subject. The talk is developed as part of the project DigiDemo, digitizing products, creating demonstrators for future education. The project is co-founded by the Erasmus Plus program of the European Union. For additional talks and more information about the DigiDemo-Project, please visit our project homepage, digidemo-project.eu. Adopting the concept of circular economy into a company do not only affect what can be described as the technical side, for example, the product and the processes. Adopting the concept of circular economy also means the company needs to move away from a linear approach towards a circular approach of doing businesses. In other words, they need to implement business models that support a circular approach toward running the company. Circular economy therefore requires companies to rethink their business models in order to stay both competitive and profitable. After this talk, you should have a basic understanding of how circular economy creates a need for new business models in companies. Moreover, you should be able to identify and explain key business models and their relevance to circular economy. Due to the embedded complexity in the concept of circular economy, understanding the supporting business models also easily becomes complex. In this talk, we will therefore focus on two of the key aspects of circular economy, namely reducing and circularity, in order to simplify things. However, it should be mentioned that the term reducing in this case covers various elements of circular economy, for example, an overall reduction in the consumption of goods and products by the customers, or reduced use of material and energy in construction and production of the product at the company, and greater efficiency when the product is used by the users. First, let us take a look at an example of business model supporting a reduced approach towards circularity. The most sustainable product is a product never manufactured. Hence, the most sustainable business model is to encourage sufficiency, meaning encourage your customers to consume less. Some companies have already adopted this model, in most cases because they were already selling only very few items or perhaps only one item to each customer during the lifetime. Example of this can be found within high-end luxury products such as jewelry and furniture. Implementing this business model at a traditional company will in most cases mean a significant decrease in turnover and hence profit. Despite of this, some companies have adopted the business model, resulting in a reduced number of items sold. However, to compensate for the losses, they have included various services in the value proposition to the customers, rather than proposing new physical product. This is a common trend, to focus on services rather than new physical products when companies adopt the concept of circular economy. Other companies follow a business model which can be named classic long life. This business model is already well established among many companies, especially among companies located in countries with high wages. The high wages makes it impossible to compete on the price of the product. The companies therefore focus on making quality products which normally cost more but also would last longer. Longer lasting product is one of the cornerstones in obtaining sustainability. These products are often supported by companies with offers of upgrades, maintenance and repair as part of the company's business model. Examples of companies who have adopted this business model can be found in the car industry, among power tools companies, and within the furniture industry. The next example of a business model can be named extending product value. Extending product value have many similarities to classic long life approach. However, in the classic long life business model, the product is kept in the context and as a product, whereas when talking about extending product value, the product can be remanufactured or refurbished, hence taking the product apart, or the product can be recontextualized, meaning using the product in a new and different context. Several companies within industry have adopted the model to various degrees, for example through the implementation of take-back programs where the customers can return the product after end of life. The last business model, access and performance model. The product is not sold in a traditional sense. With the access and performance model, the customer does not buy the physical product. They merely pay for access to the product, either by sharing, leasing, or renting it. In some cases, the customer also pays per unit, for example, hours used or a quantity. Or they simply pay for getting a particular result. Examples of paying for access to a product can be found in industry, for example within machinery or cars. Result or performance-oriented examples can be found within cloud computing, where companies offer to host servers. In the second part, we will focus on business model supporting a circular approach towards sustainability. The first model, extending resource value, is focused on recycling item parts and materials of obsolete products. Hence the product is taken apart and reused, which set this model apart from the extending product value business model, where the main structure and value of the product is preserved. Recycling can be divided into three categories: up, re, or downcycling, where upcycling means using the parts or materials to new products with a greater value. Recycling means using the parts and materials to a new product with the same value, potentially the same product. And downcycling means using the parts and materials for new products with a lower value. The aim is, of course, to up or recycle as much as possible rather than downcycle parts and materials, as it means that the part and materials eventually will lose its value and become waste. The textile and clothing industry contain examples of all three categories. For example, upcycling used clothes by turning it into a new high-end bag, or recycling the clothes by reselling it, or using the textiles for filling in various products. The last model is industrial symbiosis, where companies form partnerships using waste or output from one company as input for value-creating process in another company. This could, for example, be use of waste heat from one industry to warm greenhouses for food production, or the use of food waste from the catering sector to feed farm animals. In summary, the implementation of circular economy has the potential to fundamentally change the business model in most companies, hence also affecting the rest of the company. Moreover, implementing circular economy potentially leads to a greater focus on product as a service rather than a physical product. It should also be mentioned that several business models supporting various aspects of circular economy can coexist in a company at the same time. Equally, the business models of a company will need to change as the company mature in terms of circularity over time. For additional information, please see the below links.